Today is Tuesday. I've been trying to get into a pattern of posting every Friday. So I try to record the videos in batches as much as possible. For some hardcore YouTubers, that means like 10 videos a day. For me, it's more like one video a day for 3 days in a row, and then once they're edited and uploaded, I have, maybe like a 2-week break in between. However, I decided to help plan an event to raise awareness about myalgic encephalomyelitis. So I've been pretty occupied with that for the past few months. I've done as much as I could for a day or two, and then I would be off focusing on other stuff, and then go back to that, and then we got down to only 3 weeks, and I was like, okay, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, and I was so exhausted that I didn't get to recording another video in time. Obviously, I'm planning on sharing about the event itself, and afterward I can talk more about how it went, even behind the scenes, but I guess it doesn't hurt to say a little bit now. Posted in a bunch of different Facebook groups looking for people who want to be on my team to help me plan, and I got maybe like 12 people together. I started a messenger group on Facebook. I would just post in the group whenever I had some ideas, but unfortunately, because we're all suffering from ME, the others weren't really able to commit to doing anything concrete. It was just like, well, I can maybe be there the day of, but I don't want to make any promises because I don't know how I'm going to be feeling, which I totally understand because I'm the exact same way in any other situation. But since I took this on, of course, I have to be there no matter what. So I completely understand where they're coming from, and I would post a lot of questions in the Facebook group dedicated to planning, which is where I first saw them sort of like looking for people to plan these events, and they were trying to get them in as many cities as possible, and I'm like, well, there's not one in my city, so I could try and plan something. And so whenever I had questions, I would post in that group, and it seemed like instead of directly answering my question, like the last couple questions I asked were like, how many people in Germany suffer from ME, or are there any articles in the news about ME in German? Because like most of the media attention is in English, and the answer I got was like, the info sheets and flyers are coming, and it's like, okay, but somebody else replied with the exact statistic that I was looking for, so I'm like getting frustrated that I can't get any answers, and I feel like they're kind of trying to shut me up or something. And then I talked to the higher ups who were like in charge of planning this thing on a global scale, and they kind of confessed to me that it's not just like on my local and national level that we're suffering from ME and struggling to accomplish anything at all. This is also on the international level, where everybody involved with this is fighting it personally, and it's like just so incredibly insurmountable to imagine being able to accomplish anything at all. Like, on their website it has tips for planning a protest, and on the one hand it'll say, if you can only do something small, like have friends over to watch the documentary, or you're bedbound and you just take a picture of yourself with a poster and upload it online, that's plenty. Like, that still has a huge impact. um, yeah, I still can't help but wonder, like, how much impact could it possibly have? And then looking at it on a large scale now, I see that it did start with one person who was, pretty much housebound or, wheelchair bound. And I'm just like totally in awe that it went from that to where we are today with this documentary that's getting all these awards and all this media attention. And of course, that's going to translate into more people planning events for this year and gaining a lot more ground. Um, but then on the other hand, on the website, there's a lot of ideas for planning like a very large scale protest, like having people wear morph suits or the giant letter balloons, having like iPads or like a large screen so that you can live stream with people who can't physically be there or specialists. And I think all this stuff sounds amazing, and I would love to do all of that. Like, obviously, like, I can accept that that might be a bit beyond the scope of, yeah, feasibility for this year, but I still want to plan, like, as large of an event as possible to make as much of an impact as possible. Unfortunately, where I was like constantly asking questions and not getting answers, yeah, of course, like the people on the national scale couldn't supply me with the information months in advance because they're still waiting to receive it. And as frustrating as that is, it also drives home the point of how much help we need. I don't know, it's like a catch-22. Like you can't you can't find the energy to survive on a day-to-day basis, so how do you find the energy to find people to help you to like make any real change? So unfortunately, the people on the local level who had agreed to help me personally plan this event said that it seemed really disorganized, and they decided to back out and not be a part of it. And I don't know if they just like weren't seeing that I've been posting questions in the group for months, but I basically felt like I was just completely on my own and really started to panic. Luckily, since then, it seems like things are starting to come together, and I've calmed down. I've got a good feeling. Anyways, we'll see how it goes. But we're going to be doing the Chili Immy Challenge next week, where we eat a chili pepper to raise awareness. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully I'll get it uploaded on time. And if not, just know it's coming.